Mercedes Martinez is disappointing. And I don't want to hear an ageist thing. It's like, oh, don't give me the age thing. She's what, 39 or 40, something like that?
I think she already is 40. Let me see.
She might have been. But my point is that she's world-traveled. AEW had her at what? They had her at Revolution in that women's...
They did it All Out 2 years ago. So she is currently...
Was it All Out?
Yeah, she was at All Out, and then she showed up on Dark. Okay, so she turned 40 last November.
Okay.
Yeah, but the thing, this is a whole, we could do a whole other show about this, but I was discussing this with someone recently. The whole age thing with the women, which has been talked about before, like with Mickie James when she got cut, and how, I don't know, when some of these women get past a certain age, they just don't see them as priorities in WWE for whatever reason. Like, once you hit 40, like, they see you as completely expendable, which I just don't understand, because people like Mercedes and Mickie and, Natalia's 39, it's not like she's that much younger. Specifically, Mickie and Mercedes, I think, are far more valuable than WWE sees them as.
What it is also, it's just how wrestling has kind of ingrained it in us, and I'm guilty of it too. That when they reach a certain age, they can't go anymore. Mercedes can still go for a number of years because of her style. Shayna Baszler's 41. I want to say.
Yeah, she's another one that's also around 41. She's still on the show, but they're just not doing anything with her though.
Well, she can. Oh, they're doing stuff with her, burying her 6 feet and then 16 and then
okay.
20 feet under.
Yeah, I guess they should specify. Yeah.
But come on, Graham. She had to sell for the doll.
No, more accurately, what did you call it the other day, John?
What did I call it? God damn it! What did I call that? What, the computer generated bullshit? No.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly
what I called it. I say so much stuff about wrestling. It's hard to remember my own shit. But no, Mercedes. AEW, she could appear in the NWA, have a one-off with Camille. She could do some stuff. That could be good business. Ring of Honor has a burgeoning women's division, in theory. They have some women, but it's just, they're trying to do the Women of Honor thing, and they have some women that can work.
Yep.
And, they, at one point, they don't still have Angelina Love wrestling there, do they?
They do, actually. I hate to say
her. In the name of all that's fucking holy.
Her and Mandy Leon, neither of them are very good at all.
Mandy at least has enough personality to get by. Angelina Love sounds like a drunk aunt at a wedding trying to hit on somebody.
Yeah, I never understood the value that she brings to the division. What'd you say?
No wonder she fucking blocked me on Twitter.
Oh, God.
Anyway. Mercedes is somebody that's absolutely AEW. If AEW is not, I'm not saying throw a shit ton of money at her, but throw a good offer at her. She could help. She could be a wrestler/coach.
Yep.
And she could definitely work with teaching some of the women to not dive on their heads.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Red Velvet. Red Velvet's very good, but that was a scary dive that she did on Dynamite.
Yeah, I don't like her dives. Yeah, that was a couple of months ago. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, it was like against Allie or something like that.
Yeah, AEW needs to cool it with the dives to begin with.
Well, wrestling in general needs to cool it with the dives.
Yes.
They need to cool it with the dives, and New Japan needs to cancel or cool it with the apron spots.
They do a lot of apron spots?
They do. And also Kota Ibushi may need to cool it on wrestling for a bit because apparently he contracted some form of pneumonia. I guess it was around the same time or sometime after he had gotten his vaccine. No, that is not an anti-vax thing, guys. Get your vaccines. But because these things happen, but he's like, he got really, I don't want to say disheveled, but he's been off of shows. He was supposed to face Shingo at Wrestle Grand Slam last month, and he couldn't. They slotted Tanahashi in there, and I love Hiroshi Tanahashi, but his knees don't love him, and he's going to shatter soon. But no, the whole point is that Ibushi may be out for a bit. But my point is about what we were saying about Mercedes, age-wise, and that's an issue with the men and women. There are so many where they know their bodies, they can wrestle, but some are 40 and wrestle like they're 20, and then some are Chris Jericho and wrestle like they're 80 when they're 50.
Yes. Yep.
My fucking goodness. Mil Mascaras at a New Japan or a Japanese show, they had to be held up on the ropes to do a cross body a few years ago, moved better than Chris Jericho did.
Yeah, that Juventud Guerrero match was not that good at all. RJ discussed that last week here on the show. Wardlow match was better, but that Juventud match was not good. And that was mostly Jericho. That was not Juventud's fault.
Juvi's very good when he wants to be, but there's a reason why no high-profile company kept him around very long. When the reason he suddenly disappeared from WCW television is apparently he was in some kind of weird altered state, and that didn't work. And then the whole Mexicools thing, which, let's be perfectly honest, in WWE was only slightly, absolutely influenced by Michael Hayes and therefore horribly racist. Let's have Mexicans ride lawnmowers. That'll work. So anyway.
Oh, man, that was awful. Terrible gimmick.
Yeah, but, and the Juvi moved well, but it's like that match, it just further proves that Tony Khan is a major fan of mid to late 90s WCW, which was fine. Except you shouldn't use the same people that were in late 90s WCW.
Yeah.
Because even Juvi was 46 and moved well, but would you want to see Juvi again on TNT? I mean, I wouldn't. But it was fine for a one-off. But Jericho can't... When it comes down to age, it comes down to mileage, really, because Minoru Suzuki moves really well as far as how he bumps, and he's in his 50s. Mercedes moves very well. Once she woke up after Xia Li kicked her head off. That was scary.
That was the last time that we saw her, too.
That was actually the last time we saw her. That was a little bit weird. She's going to be fine.